Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the West. More specifically, Dodge City, Kansas, one of the wildest western towns in the West. And while traveling here, I realized they have a wax museum. And I've made it kind of my low-key goal to visit every wax museum in the United States, and I'm getting very, very close. After we visit the wax museum here, the Gunfighters wax museum here in Dodge City, I believe, and I could be wrong and I want your help, there is a wax museum in Monterey, California. I've not been to that wax museum, but I believe, by my calculations, that is the only wax museum besides this one that I have not been to. Leave a comment in the comment section if I am missing anything. If you think that there's a wax museum I have not visited that I may not know about, please leave a comment in the comment section. But today, we're here to visit the Oh look, there's a mean dog barking at me. all right. See, nice puppy. It's hard to do an intro when a mean dog's barking at you. So let's maybe walk away from the mean dog and get back on track. We are at the Gunfighters Wax Museum. However, it does not get top billing here at this attraction. This is the Kansas Teachers Hall of Fame, and you know that here in Kansas they take education very seriously. I know this because they are giving the Teachers Hall of Fame the top billing here instead of the Gunfighter Wax Museum. So it's a celebration of education here in Kansas, and also a wax museum featuring people that are notorious for shooting each other. So please follow me. The Kansas Teacher Hall of Fame. Alright, the wax figures are actually upstairs, so head up these stairs to see the mural of the gunfighter there. Looks like he may be shooting at these Native Americans. Oh, there's the Boot Hill Cemetery. Here we have Buffalo Bill, famous for creating the Buffalo Bill Wild West show. And according to this sign, he killed 4,280 buffalo. That's a lot of buffalo to kill. He's got the buffalo skull right there. So this is the head of Joaquin Murrieta. And there's his head. You can, actually really graphic, you can see there's like pieces of his spine and esophagus sticking out at the bottom here. Apparently Joaquin Murrieta was a California outlaw. Apparently there's some dispute on whether or not he actually existed, but some say he was the inspiration for Zorro, and apparently at some point he got his head chopped off. Just a legendary outlaw. Billy the Kid says that when he was 12 years old, he killed a blacksmith that insulted his mother, and then died at the age of 21 himself. And during that time, he is said to have killed 21 men. So he murdered a man for every year he was on the earth. Do love this blacklight mural here. Something about a Wild West blacklight mural. There's Clay Allison, actually an outlaw from Tennessee. He killed 35 men. Says he died when he was drunk at the age of 37. Fell off a wagon, ended up dead. So didn't die a gun-related death, but a wagon-related death. A sentiment to the danger of wagon wheels. Look up here. It says, "This critter killed 35 men." I don't know. Critter seems such an innocent word to describe a mass murderer. Yeah, major kudos to whoever came up with the idea to incorporate black light into the Gunfighter wax museum. There's the bathroom here. You're either a kitty or a mat. Interesting. And what's this psychedelic circle right here? Above the top of the tableaus. It's all covered in this blacklight mural. Here we have the Boot Hill Cemetery scene. See the grave digger right there as they're burying someone. It's kind of horrifying. You can see their feet sticking out, and you can see their hands sticking out over there at the top. I'm starting to wonder. Now I know they were notorious for having boots at the bottom of the graves. Were the boots just literally still on their feet? Did they just leave their feet sticking out of the grave? That seems creepy. Look at this guy just happy to shovel dirt on top of a dead man's corpse. I don't know who this guy is lurking back here. Leave a comment in the comment section. Would you prefer to be buried like this, or do you want to be in a coffin? Here we have General George Armstrong Custer. It's famous for a massive defeat at the hands of Native Americans, because he was a very well-known, very distinguished general, but fell to the Native Americans. I see that the black light extends into these scenes. You see the little black light paint birds there. Very interesting choice. Here we have Wild Bill Hickok, one of the famed lawmen, actually traveled the Wild West seeking to spread the cause of justice. And then behind him, Calamity Jane, the famous female gunslingers. She were apparently dressed in men's clothes and said that she was equal to any man. And these two were actually buried next to each other when they were deceased. You can see a scene there. I think that must be Calamity Jane getting drunk and angry in a bar. Said that she would often drink too much and start fights in bars. Here we have the James Gang. Frank and Jesse James. Jesse James, probably the more well-known of the two. He was, depending on who you listen to, some say he was gunned down by a member of his own gang to collect the reward money. Others claim that he lived a long life hiding out. There's actually a wax museum in Missouri dedicated to the idea that he lived. And here's his brother, the Garfunkel of the group, Frank James. Apparently he did not die a violent death. He would said, it says here, he would retire and actually join the circus. So a happy ending for an outlaw. I must say that lighting here on Frank James is very terrifying. That is some horror movie lighting there. Look at the colors of the plants here. It's wild. But anyway, we got Davy Crockett, another man representing Tennessee. He's a famed frontiersman, would later run for office and serve in Congress. And over here, there's a very brightly colored parrot that is looking at him. Yep, just Davy Crockett hanging out with his famous parrot. Okay, this seems a little touch random. We have Lyndon Johnson right there. As far as I know, he's never shot anyone, but you know, maybe he shot someone in private, you know, secretly, you know, when no one was not around. I don't know. I know I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't accuse a president of secretly committing murder with no evidence. But yeah, he's in the Gunfighter Museum, and I'm not sure why, but yeah, there he is, giving us all the Johnson treatment. Here we have the Dalton gang, one of the most notorious gangs of outlaws. That's Grat Dalton and Bob Dalton. So they were shot to death while robbing a bank. Some other notorious outlaws here. Cole Younger and Belle Starr, one of the most famous female outlaws. So apparently she was involved in a violent death. I guess a lot of these outlaws suffered violent deaths. And John Wesley Hardin. Now, I just want to say I don't consider myself any sort of expert on the Wild West, and if you have any comments about what I'm saying or anything to add or anything to correct me, please just leave a comment in the comment section. In addition to Lyndon Johnson, they also have JFK. He was also not a gunfighter, but when I think about it for a second, I do think there's a certain irony with having JFK, one of the most famous victims of gun violence, forever entombed in wax within a museum that celebrates others that enjoyed shooting guns. So I don't know, Lee Harvey Oswald not in this museum. Maybe he would have fit a little better. He liked to shoot people. JFK, he didn't like to shoot people. He just liked being president, and that came to an end because someone decided to shoot him. Sad story, but here he is in the Gunfighter Museum. Maybe this is a cautionary tale. You know, they want to show us the other side of the barrel when it comes to guns, that, you know, shooting people isn't all fun. Sometimes it has serious, very sad consequences. Looks like Kennedy is reading some National Geographic magazine. I used to love these. My grandfather had a subscription, and he would read them. He kept them in a rack next to his toilet, and when he was done with them, he would give me them to take home, and I would go through them. And of course, they're full of great nature pictures. I really did like National Geographic. This is Sitting Bull. He is portrayed, obviously, in the sitting position there. He is in a chair. And it says that Sitting Bull was a Native American chief. He was the chief of the Hunkpapa Sioux Indians. And he actually made a treaty with the United States government, which, not surprisingly, the United States government broke and took their land. And it says here that to many people, Chief Sitting Bull was the greatest man who ever lived in South Dakota. I don't know, do you think he was the greatest man that lived in South Dakota? And if not, who do you think was the greatest man to ever live in South Dakota? Yeah, I was not expecting the layout. I know I keep mentioning this, the layout of this wax museum, the black light here. And they also incorporate these mirrors to make the museum look bigger. Hey there. Almost like a fun house. Yeah, speaking of fun houses, there's an actual fun house mirror, if you can see me. Oh my gosh, did not expect this. They actually have a Chamber of Horrors here at the Kansas Teacher Hall of Fame / Gunfighter Wax Museum. These guys are not teachers, nor are they gunfighters. Look at that spooky mural right there. So let's check out what monsters they have here. Oh, I don't know who that is, but looks like he's burying someone alive. That almost looks like Mark Twain being buried alive there. Pretty terrifying scene. And look at that. It's Dracula. He's gonna suck the blood of all these gunfighters. Look at Dracula's medallion there with the orange bat painted on it. And back there you can see Frankenstein hanging out back there. Yep, Frankenstein himself. The monster known simply as Frankenstein. Over here lurking in the trees, we have the Wolfman himself. And he's dressed in this dapper tuxedo, but check out his teeth. Check out that, his leering eyes. On this wall here we see several severed monster heads. Looks like some sort of evil gorilla beast right there. And then chained to the wall is this poor skeleton. It's been chained to the wall and allowed to turn from a man into a mere skeleton. And I just look at that. Look at that. There's an iguana. There's an iguana staring at his groin. I think that's a real iguana. So we do have some taxidermy incorporated in with the wax figures here. Over here we have a gambling scene with some famous characters. Here is Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson. They were famed lawmen, and looks like they're gambling with Doc Holliday. It seems like Doc Holliday has a fairly interesting story. It says he was studying to become a dentist, but he was diagnosed with tuberculosis and was supposed to die, so he decided to live his remaining life out in excitement and became a gunfighter, a knife fighter, and a gambler. It says that he killed tons of people over his gambling shenanigans, but eventually did succumb to tuberculosis. Looking at the table here, looks like they maybe have some real cigar butts and cigarette butts there in the exhibit. Looks like things are getting pretty tense. You have Bat Masterson here clutching a gun. When someone already has their finger on a gun, you know that the card game has gotten really tense. And that old rascal Doc Holliday, look closely, it's got an ace up his sleeve. So this is Norma the barmaid, known for her twin 38s. What are 38s? I don't know what a 38 is. Where is her? Where's she keeping her twin 38s? What are they referring to? These are characters in the hit television show Gunsmoke, which was on CBS for 20 years. Now, I've never seen Gunsmoke, but I think it is 20 years. That is a long time. Ran from 1955, 1975. I know that held a record for a very long time of the longest running television show. I know, I think The Simpsons and maybe WWE Raw, I think, have beat that record. But correct me if I'm wrong, what else holds the record for the longest running TV show? I mean, there's some that have been on intermediately, but yeah, leave a comment in the comment section. What is the longest continually running TV show? Let's check out these characters. I've never seen this TV show, so I do apologize. But this is Miss Kitty here, and Doc, and Festus. Let's see what's going on here. There's a gun on the table, so maybe they're thinking about having a gunfight. Maybe they're thinking about having a little shootout. But I don't know. Miss Kitty looks pretty happy there. Looks like she's a friendly character. So I don't know. Was the show really violent? Did people blow each other's faces off? Let me know if this is a good show. I don't know if I can really adequately show off how the layout of this museum is. Like I said, they put mirrors on the walls, which makes it look much larger and gives a really unique effect. There's Sitting Bull over there, Sitting Bull again right over there. Alright, let's head down the stairs back into the Teachers Museum, and look at that. That is a wonderful mural there. The gunfight perspective there through one gunfighter's legs viewing the other one. Alright, into the Kansas Teachers Hall of Fame. So apparently the Kansas Teacher Hall of Fame was the first Teachers Hall of Fame in the United States. So this is the actual Hall of Fame right here. You open up these panels, and they'll have the teachers that were inducted on that year. There's Ginger Ham, Robert Harrison, and Dr. Max Heim. This is this year's inductees, 2021. This is Pam Alexander, Mary Cashman, Johanna Forshee, Chris Trimmer. There's an exhibit here on lunch boxes, a very important part of going to school, different styles of lunch boxes. See the Annie lunchbox, and I actually have this one, the Walt Disney School Bus. Movie projector. I don't remember watching movies in class where they would wheel out the projector and load it up. And you could actually smell it while you were watching the movie. You could smell like a strange burning smell. Those are the days. So a variety of different typewriters here, as well as different computers. I'm not sure exactly what this is. A VP-Matic and some more modern computer. At least I think it's modern. I don't know, it's sitting in a museum, so maybe not as modern as I think it is. Some of the bigger, chunkier computers I remember using. We can see here they have a replica of a schoolroom. See weekly reader right there. Some toys here that we played with a while back. Some jacks, a jump rope, those pickup sticks, some books up here. Some of them are out of print. Out here back behind the Teacher Hall of Fame, have a authentic Kansas one-room schoolhouse.
Original ceiling, they just painted it and fixed it. The floor, they just sanded and redid.
Abraham Lincoln and George Washington up there. Said that these desks here are actually original from the schoolhouse. A bucket of lard. Why would you bring a bucket of lard to school? So thank you for joining me here at the Gunfighter Wax Museum and Kansas Teacher Hall of Fame here in Dodge City, Kansas, as we prepare to get out of Dodge. Like I said in my intro, I believe that there is only one wax museum in Monterey, California. I cannot recall the name. I think maybe it should be the Monterey, California Wax Museum. I believe that is the only wax museum I've not been to. Now that I've been to the Gunfighter Wax Museum, I think that is the only one. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misguided. If there is a genuine bona fide wax museum in the United States of America that I have not been to, please leave a comment and we will try to see if there's some wax museum hiding somewhere, because I want to travel to California and make that an accomplishment of mine, going in and seeing the last remaining wax museum that I have not seen, that has not appeared on this channel. I think all others have appeared on this channel. But thank you for watching this video. I love this museum. It was so unexpected. It's unusual. For one, it is, again, the Kansas Teacher Hall of Fame gets top billing, and then you go upstairs and then there is this black light maze of wax figures, of old school wax figures. There's a couple random presidents thrown in, a hall of horrors. It is a very unique experience, and hidden up in the attic of the Kansas Teacher Hall of Fame. If you like this video, consider subscribing. Let you know when new videos come out. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month. Also, if you're interested, we're selling different enamel pins in the Etsy shop. All that information is in the description, and all that just helps keep this train on the tracks, this boat on the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.